Because for the record, I've never not liked you as a human being. I don't know you. And I wanted to make sure when the whole suicide thing happened that I watched a bunch of your stuff, that I learned who you were, because I know how easy it is for the internet to jump on the rage bandwagon.
I didn't do shit, Danny. All right? So why don't you mind your fucking beeswax and write shit down?
That's my assistant, dog. Easy.
Don't make me get my assistant in here.
Oh,
right?
shit. Oh,
An assistant battle.
can y'all get on the undercard?
Yes.
Damn. Hey, speaking of assistants,
Danny would
speaking of
definitely
assistants, bro.
I need some.
No, yeah, but also you spend like some time with yours outside of work.
Oh, and he's gone.
Hey, and she's really pretty. So what's going on, big guy?
Pretty. Well, I think what she does is she raises.
Gotta be careful, Mike.
She raises my stock. You guys see how I treat her and how I act towards her. It's very professional. If you notice, my hands are always locked quite behind my back.
There was a picture that she posted.
Yep.
And it's here. I'm actually gonna pull this up. She posted this, Olivia Davis. And the caption was, "When your boss keeps it strictly professional." And as we could see, it's Mike and Olga. But if we
hand by the side.
zoom into Mike,
No.
Nice and
Not today, Junior. You ain't gonna get Me Too movement. Not happening.
by the way,
no fucking shot, dude.
we got an email from the PR team. This whole organization has to take a sexual harassment test. I have to do a 2-hour test, and every employee has to do a 1-hour test. It's
Amazing.
a California law.
Really?
Brand new law. Yeah.
Danny told me it was sexual harassment training, and I was like, why would anybody want to train to do something like that?
No, it's against, or no, it's to not do that.
Oh, so anti-sexual harassment.
makes
That makes sense. Yeah, I just also another thing to note about this picture is that's how I look at the club now that I'm not drinking. That's as
just
happy
filled
as
with joy.
I'm like, why am I here? Why the
Yeah.
fuck am I here next to these two stunning models? I don't want to be here sandwiched in between these two.
Your stock's way high in this pick.
Crazy.
Hey, also, I'm a little late on the intro. Welcome back to Impaulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you guys for listening, viewing, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, hit that button for me. Just do it. Get it over with. We're going to hit 2 million soon.
What? I can't believe that.
We've
dude.
come a long way, boys.
Wow.
And even though you don't live here, Spencer, you're still here, and I'm glad.
I am.
And you're going on that cross-country tour
Yep.
soon? That's big moves.
September 24th. The bus is getting wrapped right now as we
Education.
speak.
Oh, yeah, education, bro. It's
Do
big.
you want to talk about the name of the buses yet? Or are you going to hold
I'm
on?
going to save that. I'm going to save
It's
that.
dope. It's
Yeah.
really dope. I've gotten so much happier when I see Spencer now. I guess it's just like one of those things where you see somebody that you don't see as much.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
When he walks in the front door, I'm like, Spencer!
It's
Yeah.
a little, it's a little dose.
Yeah.
You're coming around the house. You know who's not? Girls, bro.
Oh, I heard.
You see the article?
You got it.
Publicity
You got that
around
ready?
this.
Here's the article from The Sun. Self-inflicted low blow. Logan Paul has banned girls from his house ahead of huge KSI rematch. Be gone, witches.
Oh my
Be
God.
gone.
I love his internet rival as he consumes 8,000 calories of meat a day.
I literally, when I did that interview, it's so funny because I literally take like so many like little tips from him, unintentional tips. Like I just troll. I'm like, Logan's currently eating roughly 26,000 pounds of food a day. And they're just like, write it down, man. That's crazy. They lead the headline with it.
Yeah. You know how many girls reached out to me that I haven't banned from the house, and they're like, you're lying, you know? And I was like, no, like, trust. I'm going to lay down the hammer.
Really? How many?
Yeah,
How many
because,
were we talking?
Well, this is a lie.
Oh, how's he? By the way, I posted this on
That's
my.
fake news.
Well, it's gonna be real news, but right now it's like I'm weaning off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm weaning off the teat that is female.
Women. I posted
The
it
teat
on
that
my.
is teat.
I posted it on my story. I wanted to make sure that it was very apparent that this didn't apply to me. Because
Yeah,
he was
I
like,
saw
Logan
that,
Paul
yeah.
is banning girls. I'm like, Logan Paul is banning his girls from the house. Okay, make no fucking mistake. And by the way, so now what he did is he banned his girls, but now he just simply tries to take my girls when they come out. Back to the old strategy.
I was up to 1 a.m. last night trying to steal one of Mike's girls.
I had a last night.
It
And
sounds like an addiction, dude.
No. Yeah.
But you can't go to a sex. You can't go to a sex addiction class
because then you just end up fucking
Yeah.
everyone in the class. How do
It's not
those
gonna
work?
solve it. I
How do
don't
those
know.
work? Ironically, though, the revelation comes just 24 hours after he encouraged a Vegas crowd to chant "JJ has no,
No
dick"
dick.
at their farcical press conference. I don't think it took place in Vegas, though. Actually, I know it didn't. I'm pretty sure it was in Los Angeles next to the Staples
What
Center.
happened?
Man,
Yeah, they
get
just
your
need to
shit
throw
straight,
some
son.
content up.
Also,
real
what's a
quick.
farcical? Is that like an icicle?
Yeah, I mean, what the
It's like
farce?
a fart popsicle.
Farcical.
Speaking of girls, my beloved daughter, Ginger the Giant, my Tibetan Mastiff, is currently, I hate to say this, she's at the vet right now getting her ovaries removed.
Yeah.
What's something's getting removed? Like a tube is tied or something?
Yeah, I think I'll be honest, I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
The point is she's not going to be able to have
She's
little
getting
baby
fixed.
Ginger. She's getting fixed. She's getting spayed.
I've been
Bob
pushing
Barker
for this.
would be so proud.
Oh, hell yeah. He doesn't know. He still doesn't know who that is.
I know the reference. I know the reference.
I've been pushing for this to happen ever since the initial homicide. Obviously, talking about Maverick the parrot, when, being murdered. And as soon as that happened, I said, Logan, you got to get this dog spayed / and or neutered. Because by the way, I don't want to say she's being spayed or neutered because I don't want to assume her gender, but she's one of the two is happening to her. And I'm happy about it because I think it's going to lower her aggressiveness.
I would hate if it didn't. And I got her spayed for nothing. And I don't get to experience the joy of being a grandfather to cute little Tibetan Mastiff puppies. Not saying I was going to breed her, but you know how much you can sell those Tibetan Mastiffs for? Purebred?
$8K.
Each. That's a $60,000
Yeah,
litter,
but that
my friend.
$60,000 litter could easily be wiped out by one lawsuit from like a mailman when your non-spayed dog just rips his fleshy part of his leg off. You ever think about that? That's like a 600. You know how many litters
Yeah,
you need to
you
cover the
bought-
mailman bite?
You bought an attack dog, dude. And that's what you got. You
Just start an
definitely-
attack. Only problem is she doesn't attack the right people. She attacks our other pets and our friends.
She attacks all the things you don't want attacked.
Speaking of attacks, you want to hit this fucking drug shit or what?
Yeah.
Real
Oh,
quick.
Let's do
wow.
it.
It's not even a real quick
Yeah.
thing, but
No, yeah, it's deep.
Purdue Pharma filed for bankruptcy earlier this week, Monday, I guess.
That's great. I guess it's a great start, right?
After years of creating the opiate epidemic that I suffered from and buried a ton of really close friends because of. The conversation right now is basically, is this a good thing? By the time they filed, they've already moved billions of dollars to offshore
I
accounts.
heard you say this. Really billions?
Billions of dollars. They set up trusts in foreign countries that allows them to move the funds out of the United States prior to the bankruptcy filing.
Right.
The bankruptcy filing itself also protects the Sackler family, obviously the kind of the main antagonists of the opioid.
Richard Sackler, Dick
Yeah.
Sackler.
Dick
They
Sackler.
should have known it was just all
problem.
downhill after the owner of the company is Dick Sackler.
One of the richest families in the country, more blood on the hands of this family than potentially any other family in the history of this country.
Yeah, I was reading. I saw there's been over 500,000 people who have died from drug overdoses between 2000 and 2015. And 2015, over 33,000 people died. That was the highest amount of deaths.
2017, over 50,000.
Oh my god!
So it's continued.
It almost doubled.
Yeah.
You snapped on Instagram on them. You snapped on the family.
I did snap on the family, and I also snapped on a very ignorant fan that said that it was the blame of the end user. And while some of that may potentially be correct, the amount of prescriptions that came out of the OxyContin boom because of over marketing and doctor incentives, it was mind blowing. Basically, they marketed this drug as a non-addictive painkiller.
Yeah, I think something to preface: if anybody has the voice to speak on it, it's you. So I think for the people that are ignorant about it, I think you have a lot that you can kind of.
And I tried to
enlighten them.
take as much of the high road as possible on this lady, but it was painful.
I mean,
what
she
she
took
said.
a low blow at you.
Yeah.
That wasn't fair.
Yeah.
That wasn't cool. Logan, what do you think? You seem like you want to chime in.
Well, this is a subject that I've primarily only been educated on because of Mike. And he actually told me about Purdue Pharma and this family about a year ago and how corrupt they were and the fucked up things they were doing when it came to marketing and producing OxyContin. And so when
Do you know people affected by this?
besides him?
Yeah, like
You
anybody.
probably do. The thing is, you've
from
been
that
out of
case,
Ohio because Ohio, by the way, is Ohio is primarily the reason that one of the main reasons that Purdue filed bankruptcy. There's so many lawsuits. Ohio is one of the hardest hit states.
My high school, the year before I went into high school when I was in 8th grade, it was nicknamed Heroin High.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And Connecticut was no different. And by the way, Purdue Pharma based in Stamford, Connecticut, which is where I've lived for the years leading up to this. And so it's a big story on the East Coast. Time will tell over the next couple weeks and months if they're able to escape the civil and criminal liability. But the bankruptcy will potentially protect the Sackler family. When this happened to Big Tobacco quickly in the 1990s, the 7 biggest tobacco companies were forced to pay $9 billion a year in perpetuity for the rest of their corporations. $9 billion on April 15th. The main tobacco companies pay the U.S. government $9 billion on April 15th. Yeah.
I think something this is a super important topic because this is happening over and over again too. Like when you look at, there's a new drug coming out called Desuvia. Did you see about this?
I've been hearing about it.
And,
stronger than fentanyl.
Yeah, it's 1,000 times stronger than morphine. So OxyContin was twice as strong as morphine.
Yeah.
And fentanyl's 10 times, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm hoping that the laws and the sentiment in this country will keep that. I think
sure it'll
Oxy
keep
was
it at bay to a
yeah.
degree. But anything like we're treating pain with painkillers instead of where I'm curious. Maybe I'd like to hear from your perspective. Where is the education coming from more holistic sources, and what are the ways that we can alleviate pain without painkillers?
Yeah, I think
listening.
we probably could do a whole episode on it. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I think it'll be interesting to watch kind of what happens over the next couple of weeks with Purdue.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start.
We got a sponsor, guys. MyBookie is the place to bet on football every weekend. Football is back. OBJ is wearing Richard Millie's to his games. MyBookie has better bonuses and more prop bets than any other sports book, period. This year, they're holding the first online handicapping super contest. First place is guaranteed to win at least $100,000, and it costs only $100 to enter. All you got to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread every week to climb the leaderboard and score your share of the huge cash prize pool. MyBookie is always the right play. You bet, you win, they pay. Up to $1,000 first deposit bonus. Double your first deposit and use the promo code Logan. That's my name, Logan, to activate the offer. Visit MyBookie online today. That's MyBookie. And don't forget to use the promo code Logan when creating your account to claim the bonus.
I wish I could tell him to use my promo code instead.
No, use mine.
Yeah, speaking
By
of
the way,
OBJ,
we actually do use this, or I actually use the service. So does Evan. It's a good service.
Speaking of OBJ, did you see that?
What?
Dude, they annihilated the Jets on Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Football.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns. Yeah, go Cleveland.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Bet, win, get paid. MyBookie. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very special guest today. I am incredibly excited to have her on. She is a true multimedia icon, from 2.6 million YouTube subscribers to appearing in Ant-Man and many more films, writing books, making music. She can be seen on Corporate on Comedy Central and has a new album, Casualty, coming out this October. Please welcome Anna Akana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry for the extended open there.
No, it was fascinating. How do you know so much about drugs?
Hitting with the hard stuff right off the bat. Yeah, I spent a good portion of my life from the age of 18 to 26 in active addiction. And so I learned a lot about it through daily use, but also just from following kind of like the news and what's happened after I got clean, which was about 10 years ago. And so, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't fully understand the impact of the opiate epidemic and the amount of people that have died. And, more people have died than in Vietnam and World War II combined, more Americans. And so just like to take that into consideration is just mind blowing.
Yeah, so that's one of your advocacies?
Yeah, that and mental health.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Same.
Mental health awareness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, sorry that you were a junkie, but glad you overcame it.
Thank you. Thank you so
Builds
much.
character,
Oh, so much.
Yeah, he said the other day that he wouldn't be as dope as he is
Nice
if it
term,
wasn't
too.
for his
Yeah.
drug addiction. What did you say you would have been a...
I was a 4.0 student, gifted program for the first,
Oh, you'd be a fucking square.
I would be.
Yeah.
I would have gone to Columbia Business, and I would be on Wall Street. Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
But I like to think I'm in a bit of a cooler spot than I would be if I was on Wall Street.
Yes.
drinking Red Bull out of a beer
Yeah.
glass.
So, by the way, if you haven't noticed, Danny gives me a different cup for every Red Bull she gives me.
I love it.
You
I love
could
it.
probably pull them all.
So hey, Anna, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you doing,
Why
Logan?
just all right?
I have to put my cat down tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. He's been battling brain cancer for 7 months,
Whoa.
so it's finally, I think, time. He's lost like a lot of control in his limbs and has been having daily seizures. So,
Is that the one you do yoga with?
no, that's Beetle.
Okay.
He's fine.
So Beetle's kicking.
Yeah,
How
Beetle's
many,
kicking.
How many cats you have?
I have 5. Yeah, I used to have 6. 1 ran away, and now this one's going to be euthanized tomorrow, so I'll be down to 4.
Sorry to hear that.
man, thank you.
How old is
He's 11, so he's pretty young, but he had brain damage as a kitten, so this is not a huge surprise.
some sort of college football accident or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. He was a lineman.
Linebacker.
He was a
Linebacker.
linebacker. Yeah,
I love when girls talk football.
yeah. That's sports.
He was a lineman.
Yeah.
You do like pets. You came in and you started talking to mine in that voice that
Yeah.
people talk to pets in.
Yeah. Hello.
It's- yeah, that voice.
Yeah.
I try not to do that with other people's pets. I feel like it's an exclusive like me and my pet thing when I'm like, hey big girl. When I talk to Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always laugh though because like it doesn't matter at all to the pet
No.
what you're saying or how you're saying it.
Ever.
So you just look incredibly idiotic.
What do you think
No,
they
no.
think?
That's true.
No.
I think how you say it, babies and pets hear that.
Babies and
Yeah.
pets. Like
All right, maybe I look like an idiot.
You could say like you could go,
I'll fucking
you could go up
kill
to a
you right
baby.
now.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
be like you're a little baby bitch.
Yeah.
And the baby's like,
You're
yeah,
like just excited.
I am a baby bitch. So self-help and mental health is a big part of your brand. You sort of
Yeah.
just hit on it with Mike. And we have an interesting past and relationship. I don't
We
think
do.
I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way to skirt
Yeah.
around.
Got any like
this.
demonic music or like burn, burn, burn?
Well, I do want to state that for the record, the reason I came on the pod.
Oh, that's the best you got.
The beat we use for freestyles. We have one beat. That's it.
Have we still not gotten any other beats? That's it. Great.
All right, so
Such a delayed sound effect. Yeah, the reason I wanted to come on the podcast was because Andrew King Batch told me he appeared on it, and I was out of curiosity. I watched it, and I felt totally misrepresented by what he said. Because for the record, I've never not liked you as a human being. I don't know you, and I wanted to make sure when the whole suicide thing happened that I watched a bunch of your stuff, that I learned who you were, because I know how easy it is for the internet to jump on the rage bandwagon. And so I tried to make sure that my tweet wasn't attacking you as a person, but just really humanizing that body and showing you the kind of impact that had on people that it happened to. So for the record, I've never not liked you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I think I told you that when you came to the premiere for Airplane Mode.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was incredibly nervous because prior to that tweet, I knew of you on the internet. Obviously, we're in the same industry, but we did a chemistry read together.
Yeah, for the thinning.
Yeah,
right?
and I thought you were great. And I actually urged them to cast you. I was like, yo, Anna's awesome.
Thank you.
But I had not seen you until that premiere.
Yeah.
And it was after the tweet. And I sort of had this seed planted in my mind that anyone who tweeted at me, and there were a couple viral tweets that went insane. And YouTube actually quoted yours as their condemnation of me. And the seed in my mind had sort of blossomed over the years. Like, yo, these people must absolutely fucking hate me.
Yeah.
And then you came to this Airplane Mode premiere, which is a movie that is.
Oh man, I
for lack of better
cried.
verbiage-
First of all, incredible. First of all,
Extremely out of
incredible,
touch.
but also incredible.
It's just out of touch. Like the jokes just
Please go
don't
watch
fly
it.
anymore. And then my character made an Asian joke, and you were there, and I'm like, this is a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
You sat literally in front of me. I'm like, this girl who already despises me is about to watch this highly offensive movie where I make an Asian joke, and literally I was collapsing inside.
Yeah.
He was next to me. I'm like, this is the worst.
I remember
This
you were
is
so
the worst
scared.
day of my life.
I remember you were
man.
so scared, and I was looking through, trying to gauge the reaction from her and King Batch, and I'm like, man, they must be fucking fuming inside. And then they're like, and Batch is like, those my French fries? And she's like, yo, let me get some of those. They're like eating fries and shit. And we're sweating our asses off.
Because you left it. You walked out at one point. I was like, that's it.
Well, I had to be, for the record, I didn't know I was showing up to your movie. I was supposed to go on a date that night, and we couldn't leave because we were sitting right in front of you. But
Yeah, you could have left. I wouldn't have cared.
well, it felt really rude.
Well,
to
it
do
was
so.
Batch's movie too.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had to leave because I was having a panic attack because I was like, I feel like this movie represents everything I've
That's
been
what I'm
fighting in the
saying.
industry.
That's what I'm saying.
So I did it in the bathroom. I cried, got some fries, and I came back in to support.
Wow.
that movie
Yeah.
made you cry.
I mean, the
It's
Asian
not- I
thing,
know.
it's just like, it's my shit, you know? I know that there's a place that exists for offensive humor and for jokes. I was a comedian for a long time. I get it. Like, people got to joke about what they got to joke about. And sometimes you have to throw everything at the wall and see what really works. So I don't take it personally, but I definitely felt like on a societal level, I was like, oh man, this just has everything that really feels triggering to me.
And I knew that going into it.
Yeah.
You know, I was 19 years old when I was part of the 4 people, the group that wrote the movie.
Yeah.
And things that were funny to me when I was 19 and
Totally.
also 5 years ago just don't resonate on any level with me. And
Totally.
even you saying like I really respect and appreciate that you tried to understand who I was
Mm-hmm.
after the video and tried not to hop on the rage bandwagon. But sometimes, I mean, you know this, internet persona is not the same as real life persona. And even when I look back at like the videos even surrounding that portion of my life, it's not even close to being representative of who I was.
Totally.
And so I had this skewed version of who maybe you thought I was, and I was always nervous
Yeah.
to be in your presence.
Well, I'm sorry you felt that way, or if I came across that way. I've never thought you're a terrible person. Because I also understand, like, when you're vlogging every day, when you're making content this often, there's a sense of you that's like, how can I up the game? How can I be more entertaining? How can I do this? And I think it's very easy to lose sight of, you know, reality in a little bit, or remember that, like, oh, everything I do is kind of being watched on a larger level. Like, I was on the plane when Carrie Fisher had a heart attack, and I tweeted about it, just like being like, oh my God, I saw her collapse. I hope she's okay. And the internet exploded. And for like days, I was so hated and told like I was a fucking whore who wanted her 15 minutes of fame to, you know, break Carrie Fisher's death or whatever. And I don't think people realize, like, oh, I'm just you know, we also were the generation that grew up with the internet. Our instinct when we go through something to process is tweet about it, put it on fucking Instagram, do whatever. And so I don't try to take anything personally that people do unless it's animal abuse or unless they're fucking rapists, in which case I'm savage and I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that hate storm that you got for the? I don't even really like talking about this shit because
Yeah.
it bothers me. I'm the like, as much as I'm a mental health proponent, I'm also like, I don't do like the whole triggered or like cancel culture type shit. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit enough to like even give it any mind whatsoever. I come from a time of, I'm 34. You just had a big birthday last
Yeah, I'm
month.
30
so
now.
You're right. So congratulations,
Wow.
happy
Oh,
birthday.
wow.
Thanks.
But you're close enough, you know, to remember the old school comedy style where it was very much
Yeah.
anything goes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just saw Chappelle bring that shit back. That's where I live. And
Yeah.
so, like, it's so hard for me to dig down and be like, when you said Carrie Fisher had a heart attack, how did that make you feel? And how do you think people felt about you saying that someone had a fucking heart? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, you said something fucking happened and people got mad. Like, I've always had a lot of trouble with this, and I still have a like struggle with it. But what was that like for you to deal with the onslaught of people that were mad that you reported an event?
I mean, it's hard. You kind of want to kill yourself because people are coming at you from all angles, telling you you're a terrible person. They have immediate access, and all your friends are like, well, just don't look. Just don't look at it. Just don't look at the comments. You're like, this is my job. This is my livelihood to be an internet person. And I just ended up completely going off of my phone for a few days and letting it die down and apologizing later after the fact, even though I felt like, well, this is just what happened, and I learned from it and I grew from it.
Sorry, can you explain to me what it was exactly? So you saw her have a heart attack. You said that she had a heart attack. And
Yeah, I said I saw her collapse on the plane. I hope that she's okay.
I'm struggling here. Sorry.
I think it's just because, I mean, everyone on the plane had basically tweeted about it happening, but because I had a following, it was looked at exploitation. Like, people thought I was exploiting the fact that I witnessed this event, which is crazy because on the plane when it happened, I was right across from her. I just finished her book, and I wanted to tell her, like, hey, I love your book, like, as someone who has struggled with mental health for a long time. But I was like, I'm just gonna wait till the end of the flight. I don't want to bother her.
Did you post a photo of her?
No. But when it happened, there was a man next to me, and he was smiling when she was on the ground with her shirt off, you know, and they were using the defibrillator. And he was like, you know who that is? That's Princess Leia. And I was just so fucking grossed out and sickened to my stomach. And so the fact that my tweet got turned into the way I saw that man, I was like, oh, fuck.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's situations like that. It just doesn't even seem like apology worthy.
My first reaction, like I would have to literally tape my fingers and my mouth shut from literally saying, please go fuck yourself.
Wait,
My immediate reaction.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
This is a bit ironic coming from me. I'm not I'm not sure if I saw that, the first thing I'd be like,
No, I didn't do it immediately.
You know what I'm saying?
I was already home. So
Okay.
hours had passed.
okay.
And
Yeah,
it was like a call for your hope that she made
Yeah.
it. That's just
But again, playing as devil's advocate, are you religious?
I'm spiritual, yeah.
Like, I don't know, send your good vibes.
I think that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what she was doing.
yeah.
But through the internet, I don't know. Again, it's
I
just,
don't know.
I understand
Yeah.
this is ironic coming from me. I don't
But you could put it out on the internet, and then more people could send her good energy.
Yeah.
Like
This whole thing
there's
is-
so many ways to
No,
defend
this
it.
whole
too,
thing
you know?
is the most ridiculous thing
Yeah.
ever. I'm sorry that I didn't study on that particular thing.
No,
That's
no.
the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
I get it.
And I hear a
I
lot of
get
dumb
it.
shit. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Like, I think cancel culture, we've talked about this in the past, is kind of coming to an end.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, like, that is the dumbest. Like, the fact that I just wasted 5 minutes thinking about that is painful to me.
I'll tell you why it's not. I'll tell you why it's not. Because sometimes cancel culture is warranted. And I want to ask you about this
Yeah.
actually. The dude from SNL, Shane.
Oh, Gillis or whatever?
Yeah.
Just
I
got-
didn't hear the comments, but I saw that he got fired and he doubled down.
It was bad.
Oh, yeah. Was it like
it wa-
Ching Chong, motherfucker? Or like,
that when they were building Chinatown,
uh-huh.
what were they saying? Let's just put there, doing a point of view of the architect who built Chinatown. And then that was the first comment.
Oh.
When did he say it?
Years ago on a podcast.
It wasn't that long. I think
Years
I think
ago?
it was like, I think it was like 2
Year-ish,
years ago.
yeah.
It
2
wasn't that
years
long
ago.
ago.
2
It wasn't.
years.
Bro. He used the N-word for Asian people.
Oh, he used the N-word?
For Asian people.
I thought he said like chinks or something.
That's yes. I can't say that.
Okay.
You don't understand? Yeah.
I thought he called them the N-word. I was like, that doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense. No,
So
but
when you first saw it, what were your initial reactions?
Oh man, I didn't even care. I was like, oh, another racist. Who cares? Like, yeah, here's some consequences for your fucking actions. Bye. There's plenty of other talented non-racist people who can be on unfunny SNL.
that was the sentiment. Unfunny SNL,
Yeah.
by the way. Like, why do you want to be on SNL?
SNL has definitely lost a lot of its prestige over the years. I think it just has become so political now, and but obviously, up until about 5 years ago, that was the most prestigious position you could ever hold as
Yeah.
a person in comedy.
But, like, okay.
number one, there was nowhere past it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of dropped off, and that's still obviously an extremely prestigious position, which is why they fired the guy. But like, it once again, it really just depends on the person consuming the content. We had Andrew Scholes on last week or 2 weeks ago, and he said there's literally nothing you can say as a comedian that is too far.
Yeah.
Nothing, and that includes calling for acts of violence against certain races. Like, he does not care.
Yeah.
Comedians, in his eyes, comedians are protected. I sit somewhere in between the two, but I mean, it's tricky. And by the way, cancel culture, the other thing about being canceled is, like, I think people think, like, once you get canceled, you're dead. You just go do something else.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a big internet star. You're not
Bro,
going to be like, he's going to go rock little clubs. He's going to go back
Yeah.
to New York City and rock clubs where people want to hear racist shit. That community exists. And so, like, you never really get, like, if I get canceled, I'm going to open a fruit stand. You can't cancel my fruit stand. Like, you can't sell fruit here. Yes, I
It
fucking
depends on the
can.
level of entertainment you want to put out to the world. Because if you want to
Obviously.
be at that
Obviously,
stage, I think what this is showing and what cancel culture shows is there's a standard.
Yeah.
There is a level
For
of
sure.
class that you must operate with if you want to win.
Yeah.
I think it's also circumstantial.
Like,
agree.
I believe in
agree.
Harvey being canceled. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, for
fuck
sure.
that guy forever.
Oh
For
my
sure.
God.
Yeah.
Like
of
forever and ever.
course,
Yeah.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Or like Purdue Pharma. Like those
Purdue
people
Pharma,
too. are
yeah,
a perfect
they're
example.
canceled.
If you've broken a law,
Cancel
hurt
they
somebody
ass.
directly.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I think there's also a certain amount of racial, factors that go into it. So, like, Dave Chappelle could easily call white people honkies and no one would ever give a shit.
Yeah,
Like, he would
yeah.
not be even tapped for it. But on the other hand, if a white person obviously says something about another race, I think right now, especially, it's a very hard time to be a white comedian that makes jokes about any other race. I think races are completely off the grid for any white people right now to even touch on.
Well, they're also fucking cheap. Like, I hate the comedians that are complaining like, oh, everything's so PC. I'm like, write better fucking jokes then. Like, keep up with the times. Like, that's no one else's problem that you can't grab all that low-hanging fruit anymore. I feel like we're also so saturated in comedy. It's like, that shit isn't amusing. Make something better.
I've said that before.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you do come from the world of, and there's a couple of articles on it even where they say you balance trauma and comedy, and you do come from a comedy background. So when it comes to stand up, is it possible to go too far nowadays?
I think it depends how funny you are. Like Louis C.K., fuck him forever to a certain extent, but he made, dead babies funny with that dumpster joke. He was like, having a kid made me realize why kids are left in dumpsters. And I was like, that's a brilliant point of view. Yeah. Like he was able to make pedophilia funny by being like, wow, it has to be so fucking good for you to touch that kid, knowing the consequences. So I think it really depends. If you're able to find a perspective that's funny, then no, nothing is off limits. But if you're just trying to like spew a bunch of hate or bullshit, then people are going to flag that. But I also understand that hate and that bullshit portion of it is necessary to make that bit funny. Like I used to joke a lot about my sister's suicide, about rape, about abortion. But for a while it was pretty unfunny because I was trying to find the right perspective of it. Right. So I do think comedians, higher profile comedians, need to find workable rooms in which they're not being recorded or people understand this is still a work in progress.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Cause I bet you a lot of these jokes when people are kind of walking that line, they're probably trying stuff, cause comedians experiment and try stuff in front of live audiences in clubs. And the line is so thin.
Yeah.
Like a joke right here that you say in a certain context about dead babies and dumpsters right here, that's right there is fine. If you add one more word in it, you're canceled for life.
I think
and so it's so fucking hard right now.
It's unique. I'm not sure. I'm so out of this space. You might be able to talk on it more than me, but taking the cell phone too, I know that's like something that every industry is incorporating.
Yeah.
Like Rihanna just did that with their Fendi show. Nobody could have their cell phones. So, and they
knew a
distributed
girl.
it. Oh, she got in with the cell phone?
She was cutting open the magnetic cases with a knife. And it was what I was going to say to you.
Magnetic cases.
Because
Yeah,
they give you a case,
with a butter knife. They put it in a case so you can't use your phone.
I'm gonna get
by
this
the way,
footage.
Rihanna did lock boxes, so you couldn't even have it.
Same with no, this is the show, the Rihanna show.
Oh, really?
Yes. The same with stand-up comedy. They take your phones, as I'm sure you know. But for some reason, I don't trust that because of the person cutting it open, especially with like, Louis C.K. I doubt can do a set anymore without thinking it's going to be recorded. Everyone wants to record Louis C.K. and expose him again and again and again, so he doesn't have a career. So that buffer period, that test phase, is sort of gone out the window. So you just have to bank on your jokes being funny and not offensive right off the bat.
Or you can like buffer it with friends and family.
A team, for sure.
Or a team, like have people you go to and be like, hey, objectively, what do you think of this? Can I say it?
How have you pulled back?
From?
You said you used to make rape jokes and
I just found a way to make it so that I was the butt of every joke. And
self-deprecation.
And to allow people to laugh and make it okay. Because like the moment people know, oh, suicide, this person's dead, and you're incorporating them into a joke, that person's defenseless and they can't defend themselves, or like they don't have a voice in this. And for me, it was more about the absurdity of the situation. So it took a long time to get there, but eventually I did.
Did you see Dave Chappelle stand up?
No.
You have not watched it.
No.
Will you?
Maybe.
You don't feel compelled to watch it?
I've never really liked Dave Chappelle.
Why?
I just feel like I don't find him very funny.
You seem like a tough person to please.
I like George Carlin, and I like Richard Pryor. I like Hannah Gadsby. Like I love stuff that has a point to it. Or like Mike Birbiglia, like how he's a storyteller.
Those are all stars of comedy.
Yeah.
Incredible performers.
Yeah.
I would ask you to watch the new Chappelle.
Okay.
Give it a chance.
Okay.
Give it 10 minutes at least, because
I'm more curious about your perspective on it, because he crossed all the lines.
Yeah, I hear.
every
and I'm curious to see like you're the exact type of person I wonder if we could ever be friends. With
I've
the
wondered
cameras
that
are
as
off.
well.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. All of you guys are very male.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I'm not
sure.
gonna lie, if
For
I
sure,
saw
for sure.
the three of you walking down an alleyway, I would probably turn around and like walk the other way.
Even Spencer,
Really?
he's a vegan.
My shirt is
mean-
made with plastic water bottles. I don't know. I mean, I thought that was pretty
Hey,
unassuming.
You're absolutely right. And we try, especially for our female guests, to not come off as the three dudes cornering you. We got 4 women in the room.
We do have a lot of women. Yeah, now, shout out to all the women
Shout
out
out to
there,
all the ladies.
who, by the way, are the reason we exist. Very, first and foremost, and also a lot of the reason that drives our desire to succeed. And we love women, and we are unfortunately very, very strong. Strapping, good looking, and funny.
Unfortunately.
I think of what am I trying to say? Like, I'm worried I'd be like walking on eggshells in an attempt to be friends with you. But then again, you're friends with King Batch.
Oh, whoa.
He's not gonna watch this. It's fine.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he'll see that.
Good luck getting to the next movie premiere.
Clip it.
First one off the list.
Okay, wait. Without digging too much, is it because he's too...
No, I think he's a lovely, talented, amazing person, and I am rooting for him in all of his endeavors.
But why did the friendship turn into it?
We were never friends.
It seemed like it was supposed to be a romantic thing.
We were dating, and now we are not.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
There
that
we
makes
go.
sense.
Now
There's
we're up
really
to
no
speed.
other explaining that needs to happen.
Yeah, that's all.
That's understandable. So even if you guys didn't date, you probably wouldn't be friends, you think?
No, he's asked several times, but to me, it's like we didn't have a friendship
was saying
to
you and
begin
Logan.
with. Oh, me and Logan?
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, I think it depends. I don't know who you are as a human being.
Do you have friends?
Yeah, I have many.
There we go.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I think you're being a little.
No, that question wasn't. The question wasn't. No, the question wasn't not loaded. Like,
Oh, okay.
do you? I'm asking because
No, not that question.
in Hollywood, it's hard to keep
Yeah.
friends close, especially being in a position like yours, where you have fame and you're getting movie roles and you're successful. And so the friends you have they been with you for 4 or
No.
5 plus? Are they brand new
No.
friends?
They're like 2 years-ish. Like, it's taken me a long time to find my tribe in LA for reasons I'm sure you all relate to. Like, people, when they see your social numbers, they want something from you. Or if you work with your friends, that can get really complicated very fast. But I love working with friends, and so I often do it. And then the power dynamics get kind of off. And so it's been a minute finding people I really trust and want to keep close. But I feel like I'm there.
What do
I
you
feel like
do?
I'm there.
What do you do for
Good.
fun with them?
Congratulations.
We like to take weekend trips. We went to Santa Fe, Meow Wolf. This art installation was really fun. We probably are gonna go to Hearst Castle like in a bit. We love like drinking and hanging out together.
Here's why I think
wine
we would
excursions.
be friends, because I love being around people like you, like your friend group, because I could learn so much from you. And oddly enough, like, clip of this, she reminds me of Chloe in many ways, who was my ex-girlfriend, girlfriend. Then now we're not dating anymore.
Oh, okay.
Makes
But
sense.
she aged me up in so many ways off camera, and actually probably one of the most like impactful people in my life. And so
Yeah, it's a little different than the the typical Warwick scene.
Yeah, for
that,
sure.
that type of
Yeah,
crowd.
like these
yeah.
are
It's classy. It's higher
intelligent,
class.
cultured people. Like
Yeah.
I it's funny because you'll actually find people at those places that are extremely intelligent and cultured too. They just happen to really like going out and partying. I'm one of those fucking people. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you do
I
that
love
anymore?
doing that shit.
you going out?
I go out, but then I'm there early and I leave early.
Early.
Yeah, because
You
I
like
like to go.
sleeping.
I like sleeping.
Yep.
I really love my career. I love working. And I'm very serious about all of my jobs. So like I'll schedule my blackouts.
Oh,
They're in my calendar.
Strategically.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw you in Ant-Man,
Yeah.
I lost my shit. I was so excited for
Oh,
you.
thank you.
How did you just audition for the role?
Yeah, it was actually a VO audition.
I was gonna
so
say,
you
'cause-
got his
okay.
monologue and you had to mouth it in the audition, and they were looking at who could sync the best. And that's one of my like hidden skills is I can sync incredibly well.
Shut up.
Yeah, so
Wait,
like
like
ADR.
ADR?
Yeah, like ADR is like a random gift of mine. Like I'm just very good at that timing. And
You're the person that does it in one take.
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, so that was like a blast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you've done a bunch of other stuff as well. And it's so cool to see internet people transition
Yeah.
into traditional. Did you start online?
No, I started in stand-up as a teenager, and then I started doing YouTube because I was really frustrated with the stand-up world and acting at the same time.
Where were you at the time? Where were you doing
When I started stand-up,
stand-up?
I
Yeah.
lived in Temecula, and then so I
Okay.
would drive out here every night and do open mics and shit.
Oh, you're a California girl?
No, my dad's military, so I moved every 2
That's
years.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason you fell in love with acting. I read somewhere too.
Yeah. You just get used to reinventing yourself. And so I was like, oh, in Hawaii, I'm going to be the fun girl. And in Japan, I'll be the shy, studious one. Yeah.
Is that healthy, Anna?
I think so. I got to like try on different me's, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you? I want to make sure that we spend some time, a good amount of time, talking about mental health
Yes.
because 2 out of the 4 of us are massive proponents of that discussion
Yes.
and raising awareness for it. And you're the guest, so
Which
especially. Well, I probably talk about it more than the 2 of you combined, obviously. So it's probably me. What are you asking stupid questions for? What the
You're
fuck?
so great, bro. You're so great.
Sorry about my friend here. Anyways,
Yeah.
what pushed you to get like into that arena?
I mean,
And,
Yeah. I mean, my sister committed suicide when I was 17 and she was 13. And it changed. Like before that, I thought I was going to be a military in the officer, perhaps like a vet in the corps. And I ended up being like, oh, I'm going to die someday. Like I'm going to for real die. So I don't want to do any of those things. I want to go into acting and stand up and have been, you know, incredibly in awe of the power of the internet. Like I've had young women come up to me at the store, at the DMV or whatever, who are crying and have like self-harm marks. And they're like, oh, I wanted to kill myself and I saw this thing and I didn't. And it's in those moments where I'm like, holy shit, like I just am throwing shit in a vacuum, hoping it's saying something and it's actually impacting a young life. And I always wonder if my sister had like a Grace Helbig or someone that she watched online, would she ever have actually killed herself?
Right.
And so I'm incredibly mindful of, you know, putting out content that's conscious of its impact, especially because, you know, everyone who sees me from TV and knows me from TV doesn't give much of a shit. Everyone who knows me from YouTube talks to me like I'm their best fucking friend.
Yeah.
Who, like,
So funny.
help them through this thing.
It's
Like
so
it's so
funny.
intimate. It's so personal. And I think we take for granted the power that it has. Like, for instance, when 13 Reasons Why came out, suicide rates the next month were higher than they'd ever been in 19 years. Like media has an impact on your career, your hobbies, your marital status. And before then it was film and TV and radio. And now for kids, it's YouTube.
Do you think?
What did they have in that series? Right, they had
They had
like,
a
multiple
graphic
people.
depiction of suicide. They
Would you say it
showcased the suicide.
romanticized it?
100%. The idea that I can kill myself and I can leave behind this mystery, and everyone who bullied me will have to reckon with the fact that
Yeah.
this is what they did.
What do you think their intention going into that, creating that script was?
I mean, it's based on a book, and I've read the book as well. And the book definitely romanticized suicide, but it was also from a long time ago before we really knew the impacts of what that could have. I think the intention was to do an adaptation that was true to the book, but I think the book itself was problematic in modern times.
And they removed that scene, right? After, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather? So this is a question that I've been, dealing with myself recently, and I think after the first couple people messaged me and said, I didn't kill myself tonight because of your conversation, you talking about mental health or about addiction. And by the way, I've gotten hundreds of those
Yeah.
now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you rather make someone laugh or make someone say to you, you've changed my life due to your conversation about mental health?
Well, my goal is always do both.
Yeah.
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 I like to make people laugh and then make people think about something. Because I feel like that's the easiest way to not be preachy and the easiest way to disarm someone and really get them to open their minds. Like I did a short called Take Your Birth Control that was about my abortion, in which I don't really portray myself in any other light than me being a dumb fucking kid. And that changed a lot of pro-lifers who were like, oh, like actually I could see now why someone might need an abortion. And okay. Like in these instances, I'm fine. So I think it's best to try to get people to laugh and get them to be on your side and to feel relatable. And then you can really showcase a point of view and allow them to feel compassion.
I like how you have a strong moral compass, but you're not really complaining with it. You're using it. Like you're talking about abortion. That's a very like fringe topic that
Yeah.
I'm surprised you got into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just a really cheesy person, but I've just learned to accept it.
What you just said, Spencer's, is like, I think is so important too, because like I think the relatability and authenticity are everything. The reason
Yeah.
I talk about mental health is not because I've been forced to. It's because I've dealt with mental health problems my entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still to this day deal with severe anxiety, and I've just got off antidepressants for a 5th try at them.
Yeah.
And, I've dealt with every substance abuse issue as a result of those mental health issues. And so I believe that the reason you're using your platform to do it is because you've dealt with those kind of issues yourself.
Yeah.
And I think when people that are suffering from mental health see someone that they watch their content every day and they're not saying, oh my God, like I went and got prettied up before this show. Like you're saying, I had a fucking panic attack before this show.
Yeah.
That humanizes you and creates a level of authenticity and relatability that people that are suffering can really relate to.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's so important for people who truly deal with mental health issues to say, I'm going through this shit and I want you to know that I'm doing my best and these are the ways that I'm going about coping with my mental health problems.
Yeah.
And I want you to do the same things and I want you to succeed the same way that I have, but it's a battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's interesting too how, if you were to be open about an abortion probably like 10 years ago, you probably get canceled.
Yeah.
So how do you speak on abortion in the times that we're in?
I feel like the more afraid I am to talk about something, usually that means I need to talk about it. Because it's when you're sharing and there's no risk involved, that's not bravery at all. That's not being vulnerable. That's not being real. It's I want to share because I have this thing and maybe it can gain me something versus I want to share this thing because it's something that I'm going through, but what are people going to think? Am I going to be stigmatized? Is this going to hurt my career, et cetera? When I'm in that mindset, I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this because overcoming that fear is more important for the people who might also be dealing with this stigma.
Are you worried about pissing any groups of people off, like the pro-lifers, for example?
No.
You're against.
No.
You want that Ben Shapiro smoke?
I'm fascinated with how opinionated you are, and maybe it's because you just don't give a fuck, but
Yeah.
You express your opinions in such a delicate and strategic way that you don't often come under fire like I'm sure someone like me would if I said it's okay to have abortions.
Yeah.
Don't fucking clip that. Take that out of context.
They cut all the beginning off of it.
Motherfucker.
Well, I think it's also the more I've realized that nothing is personal and everyone is acting out based on their past traumas and their own emotional shit, the less I take anything personally. I'm like I had this lady yesterday scream at me and call me a fucking bitch, and I was just like, oh wow, you must be in so much pain, ma'am. Like, are you okay?
Yes. That's what I said.
Why did that happen, by the way?
I don't know. I was just turning right and I was in the crosswalk, but then it turned red. And so, you know how it is when people have to cross in front of you.
She
So-
called you a fucking
Yeah,
bitch?
she was screaming at me learn how to drive, you chink. And I was like, oh man.
Shit.
Yeah.
Not again. Was it that dude from SNL?
Yeah, it was Shane. Yeah. No, but I was like, she's probably mad because she doesn't have a car.
See, that's how you have to. That's how you have to think about it. When I went on that rampage on that lady on Instagram yesterday, I did it under the veil of I was where you are once too,
Yeah.
and I was a sad, horrible human being like
Yeah.
you are now. And I hate to say that to you, but I really do. And I said I'll pray for you so that one
Yeah.
day you aren't a breathing, walking human pile of shit, which you are right now. And I said it in such a way that it was so well received by everyone who read it, and it just literally just ended the conversation. There was no
Yeah.
response after that.
Yeah.
That was it.
She's lucky to receive your prayers. I think even though, I would did you pray for her? Because I know you didn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I know you didn't.
I should. But I also said that I feel very bad because the percentage of negative. This is very different than how it used to be. The percentage of negative comments I get right now, comments, DMs, anything is so minuscule compared to the outpouring of love for people that have mental health problems and want someone to be their proponent. And all of those people that have said, I just would do anything for one conversation with you. And then I went and responded to some that said that to me, and I felt very bad about that. And I still do. I feel guilty that with all the opportunities I had to say something to all these beautiful people that are suffering, I chose, I guess, someone else who was suffering.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, but I took a negative comment and responded to it. And I do feel
That's
bad
fine.
about that.
We're all human. We do it. You feel the need to defend yourself. Are you guys Christian?
I grew up Christian.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm spiritual.
Okay.
I would not associate with Christianity anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are?
No, same as you two.
Oh, okay.
He's Christian.
I'm a bad Christian, but I try to. Yeah, I know I am. I'm proud of it.
Well, this is like religion specifically, and I'm sure you have a lot of opinions about this.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. I would love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because he says he's a bad Christian, not using him as an example, but how many Christians are bad Christians, and then hide behind the veil of Christianity as no, I'm a good person. Like I'm
So
good.
many.
Like Jesus got me.
I'm sure.
So
yeah.
many.
Were you religious ever?
I was raised Catholic and Christian from my parents, and then I had a priest tell me my sister was in hell. So I was like,
shit.
I'm not a part of the church anymore.
Was that a Catholic priest? Just
Yeah.
to okay,
Yeah,
just
it's
to
a Catholic
clarify, because
priest.
I'm a Christian that operates in like a Methodist
Yeah.
group, which is basically like, hey man, you're a sinner just like me. Like you're gonna be
Yeah.
good if you just keep your path and you believe in the Lord. And so like it's a very different. Anyways, go on.
Yeah.
Catholic is very different.
Yeah, they were all about that guilt.
Yeah.
I was atheist for a while, and then Buddhist, and now I'm sort of just like vaguely spiritual.
Oh, you were Buddhist?
Yeah, I was a practicing Buddhist for like 4 or 5 years.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Any revelations in that
Yeah,
religion?
I did like a 7-day silent meditation retreat with
I
Vipassana.
read about that.
Yeah, and it was very eye-opening to me about just how much pain everybody's in all the time, and how we like tell ourselves the story of our life over and over again, and like really identify with ego. And so I'd need to do one of those again sometime
I used to
soon,
think,
but
I don't know if you guys relate, but like growing up around religion, a lot of religious practices make you feel like you're going to hell if you even meditate. Or,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Look at what other religions are
so-
doing and take the
Yeah.
good from it.
Really?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I got kicked out of
definitely.
Sunday school for asking questions.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay.
Same with me.
I was like, does God watch me when I pee? And they were like, shut up.
I drew a picture of somebody asked when I was like super young in Sunday school. They asked me to draw a picture of Jesus, and apparently I wasn't feeling it. I drew a picture of a dog pooping, and they're like, you can't do this. Like you really can't. Can you please draw a picture of Jesus? And then I drew a picture of 2 dogs pooping.
Is that what
Yeah,
Yo, I love
that's
that's
real, dude. I
cute.
really did
that
that.
was your
Cute.
initial fuck you to the world?
You're like, Jesus isn't everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to
Jesus is 2 dogs pooping.
you go to Catholic hell if you get divorced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if you're Catholic, you have to go to hell.
Yeah.
Like there's literally
nothing else.
no way to go to heaven. if
I
you're
talk to my
At all.
uber religious friends a lot about religion because
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not gonna say his name, but I have a giant Buddha sculpture in the back.
Yeah.
You may have seen it, or I could show you. It's
Yeah.
it's giant. It's probably it could fill up this space right here.
Ooh.
And I had a lot of bad luck last year, both public and personally. And he said the reason was because I had the sculpture in my
'Cause you had a
backyard.
sacrilege?
I swear to God. He took me aside. He goes, yo.
It's because of the Buddha.
He goes, gotta get rid of that thing. I was like, what do you mean? Like the Buddha sculpture was like 18 grand. He's like, that's the reason for your bad luck, bro.
By the way,
Trust
we
me.
all know. We know at least.
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
trust me. And I was like, it seems a bit ridiculous, don't you think? It's just a statue.
Yeah.
And they say to rub his belly for good luck, you know? and
Maybe you just didn't do enough of that.
And I go back and forth with him often and pick his brain. And
Yeah.
he said his explanation for, because one of my arguments is, how do you know which religion is the right one?
Yeah.
There's so many different beliefs. Who's going to heaven? Who's going to hell? Do those even exist? X, Y, Z. And he said that Satan created all the other religions to trick people and
Oh my
disperse them
God.
and confuse them, throw smoke bombs. So you don't know which religion to go to. So, you know, some people are Muslim, some people are Buddhist, some people are Jewish.
Yeah.
And then there's the Christians who are going to, according
The
to
chosen
him, the
people.
chosen people make it
Like,
through.
nope, those are the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dylan's happy about that.
Dylan's happy.
Hey.
No, I'm just like, how could they all be right?
No.
Who's wrong?
No,
Who's
see,
right?
I like to think they're all right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they're
I love
all
that. I
right.
like all the gods just chilling together. Like these are all
Yeah.
my homies.
I think everyone's
and when
just
you get
saying
up there,
the
it's just a
same
big
thing.
party, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. Have you tried getting rid of it just to see if it changes?
It's
Have
so
you tried-
heavy.
And numbers are up too.
Yeah.
So it's like you had the
And-
Buddha when they're
well,
down.
well,
Now
I
you
told-
got him when he's up.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
I
like
told him I
karma.
was like, hey man, I'm pretty sure his bad luck probably is gonna pass in like a year.
Yeah.
And so now it has, and life's good now.
Yeah.
So now what? Like,
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Yeah, I think it when you are religious, you're scared of any other topics outside your religion, and that fear is what's dangerous.
speaking
For
of
example, karma, right? Like karma. I used to hear karma and be like, "Oh, that's the devil." Like, no, staying away from that. And all it means is action.
Yeah.
So it's a different language.
Yeah.
Literally, religion is a different language. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just people communicating differently.
I can't yet reach a conclusion on whether or not I'm I don't want to be religious because of fear
Yeah.
of going to hell and
Yeah.
burning for the rest of eternity.
I don't think hell exists.
I do.
Yeah.
You want to know what it is?
Be
Department
here?
of Motor Vehicles. The DM fucking V.
Yeah.
And by the way,
That's so
That's-
true. Hell on earth.
no,
Yeah.
but it's not though. So if you don't commit a mortal sin and you commit just venial sins, they're called, you go to a DMV for eternity. And every day you wake up and you have to go try to get your license.
I mean, the DMV is really not that bad. You just bring a book. You
What
play
DMV do
Sudoku.
you go to?
Schedule an
lady?
appointment.
When you get to,
Schedule an appointment
we
to
have
hell.
been
okay?
through this shit. When you get to the counter,
Bring some snacks.
no. When you get to the counter, even when you've read your book and you've had your snacks and all that good shit has happened, when you get to the counter, you've done something fucking wrong.
It sounds like it's on you. I mean,
No, I have brought every
Sounds
document.
like you don't know how to fill out forms.
It's very possible.
You're 90% right. You're not like, no, he filled out all his forms. He had an experience recently. He filled out everything he needed to. He got to the counter and he goes to pay. And, so he hands him the debit card. They don't take debit cards.
Yeah.
Right? No
No
problem.
debit cards.
Why would you
That
take debit
makes
cards?
sense.
Yes. They don't, no, only debit cards, by the way. Take credit, just not debit cards. And I was like, yeah. And by the way, as you know, that's my response. Of course you don't take debit cards because I go with no expectations.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the DMV, I go expecting to walk out of there with nothing in my fucking hands.
Yeah.
And it always happens. And so I went for my license a couple times in the past couple months just to get a renewed license. I have my license, still don't have a license. Can't get it. Something always goes fucking wrong. And trust me, you have to be the only person in the world that I've ever talked to that doesn't have a problem with the
enjoys
DMV.
the DMV.
They're like, I think it's a nice,
Yeah.
quiet place for reading.
Yeah, well, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
The
she
traffic,
she
too.
doesn't believe in hell because she thrives in hell.
Maybe it's the Buddha. I mean, maybe you got to get rid of that thing.
No, yo, now that you're saying,
Take it to the DMV.
Just let them
Set
sit
outside
there.
the DMV. No, but I mean, I just want to get your thoughts because you just okay, I understand you don't believe in hell, but
Yeah.
what if it's real, dude?
I mean, if it's real, then I would hope that you just lived your life. So they say character is what you do when no one's looking. So I would say if you have good character and if there is a hell, then you're probably not going to go.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so many people who are much, much worse, who are rapists and murderers and they fuck kids and they chop people up. Like, if I deserve to be in hell, fuck you.
Then there's going to be, if you deserve to be in
so
hell, there's going to be a
true.
lot of people there.
Want to know?
So true.
Want to know a perspective I really enjoyed, and this did come from Buddhist beliefs. I enjoyed this. They believe in reincarnation. So if you are, let's say, you're a pedophile, like in your next life, you might come back
As
as
an
somebody
anal
who
bead.
is
Yeah.
no, not quite, as somebody who's on the receiving end of those acts.
Well, they
or
also
there's a
say-
cycle of life.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you commit some mass murder, you might come back and be a part of that, or get killed, or have some rehabilitation or whatever.
Yeah.
Damn, we almost have done some dope shit in our last life to end up where we're at.
For real.
Like,
No,
to
based
be
off-
on the
based
world's
off,
number
yeah.
one podcast, dude,
You
and
ever-
just being like a fucking actress and comedian, just awesome.
100%. We had to do something right.
Yeah.
You
Probably
ever
saved
talk
a
to one of
life.
those people who
The uber religious?
who tell you what you did in your past life and how many past lives you've
Yeah,
had?
I
and-
love getting my tarot cards read.
Yes.
Like, that's my
What,
shit.
what were you? I was told I was a pirate.
I was told I was a princess that got murdered very young.
You probably had the same guy as us.
Yeah.
We were three bitches.
Yeah.
I always
You were
remember that.
3 bitches.
In a former life, you were three bitches.
And a
I was
pirate.
like,
and a pirate. Yeah. Do you have a birthmark?
Yeah, I do on my stomach.
They say that's where you got stabbed in your last life.
Wow, I got annihilated in my face then. I
Some sort of acid burn.
got drugged by a horse.
Listen,
see that.
you've been stalked.
What?
Have you been stalked?
Oh, what? Sorry.
I'm
yes,
kind of
yeah.
telling you that.
Oh, yeah.
You've been stalked.
Yes,
You're
many
currently
times.
being watched.
The transitions,
You know that?
they're sometimes slower on this.
Yeah.
I'm reading here that you've had a stalker.
Yeah, I've had several.
How bad?
Pretty bad. I had a guy come or tell me he was going to come to a show and shoot me, so I stopped doing comedy for a long time because comedy shows don't have any security. And had to hire like PI and get them to figure out who he was.
So you did find out.
No, we think he works in IT because we can't find
Where'd you get the
him.
threat? Email or?
A bunch of emails. I've also had weird letters sent to my house.
Interesting.
Like, it's weird because the police department wouldn't take the emails seriously, but the moment I got something in snail mail, it was suddenly more like, oh.
I hopefully this can enlighten some people out there, because I've had, believe it or not, I've had a serious death threat come my way.
Wow.
It actually came in the form of my business partner, and our at the time our address was on his house.
Yeah.
I just straight up called the FBI. I wasn't dabbling with the police. I called the FBI.
Right.
They were on that shit, yo. They showed up at the dude's house. Like, I don't know if they arrested him, but an FBI agent showed up to our house and was like, "It's taken care of."
Wait, is it your what?
Yeah. So if you have a death threat out there, call the FBI. I'm serious. Call them up.
Call
Wow.
the feds,
Tax
dude.
dollars at work.
Let's go.
I've never gotten
what they're supposed
a
to
death
do.
threat ever.
That's
Really?
shocking.
Shocking.
I think
No
it's because
one's
you're
ever
so
threatened to kill you?
you're unreachable to the people who want to kill you.
Well, you also don't read your DMs. Like the DM requests.
That's
like
true,
you can
bro.
have a
You
full,
probably have an army
you
of
can have
people.
a full slaughterhouse in your DMs right now, like literally at your gate with spears.
There's 14,000
right
people in a field. Like,
No, because yo, like if I get that DM that's like, yo, I'm gonna kill you, I'm like, bet I'll kill you back. Let's fucking go, dude.
We're gonna schedule a live stream. It'll be great.
show up with a sword. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah.
Are you fearful for your safety?
No.
I'm in the most authentic, genuine way possible, not being sexist at all. I'm nervous for female creators, entertainers, artists, just because at the end of the day, I feel really safe in my body.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
not
really-
sexist at all. That's acknowledging your privilege, which I think is a commendable thing to do.
Great job, Logan. Great fucking job.
There we go.
Now you acknowledged your male privilege, and Ben Shapiro hates you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Fucking Ben Shapiro.
Congratulations. By the way, most of the scariest people I know are badass females. So to be honest with you, I'm not worried about any of their health. They got tasers, pink guns, all
Yeah.
kinds of shit, dude.
Yeah.
I know one that keeps his little pink Ruger, bro. She's like, yo, anybody wants to death threat me, bring it. Because I'll pump your body full of fucking lead.
Yeah, but also like,
I'm like,
ideally,
wow.
you don't have to have a pink gun.
Yeah.
So, any precautions you take now? Like it's a shame that you had to take a break from stand up because of that.
I have security system in my house. I had someone break in. He ran away though, because I like sing very loudly in my home, and I saw him like run away in my
He
security
heard you
cameras.
singing?
Yeah, I was like, I just go around like singing Mulan or
You a bad singer?
no, I'm pretty good.
He's like
but-
no.
He cracked his glasses.
And by the way, I'm being facetious. You're a great singer. I listened
thank
to a
you.
couple of your songs before you came in here. I mean, I guess it's a good place to say you do music. You do music too?
Yeah, I used to do half of my stand-ups that used to be comedy music with a guitar. So I've just transitioned into more serious music.
Gotcha. And by the way, you sound great.
Thank you.
Do you worry that you're doing too much?
All the time.
Burnout? You scared?
I don't really get burnout as long as I take every Sunday off.
That's what we
Nice.
do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Self-care
Force
Sundays.
ourselves to do nothing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Ever.
What do you do?
I like to get a massage,
Same.
do a
Every week.
face mask,
Yep.
hang out with friends, go to brunch, set no alarm
yeah.
to wake up.
I'm not so much talking about burnout as much as how effective can you be in everything if you're doing everything.
I'm pretty effective. I'm like very, very good at organization, planning, executing tasks, delegating. Like I thrive on that shit. And if I feel like I'm not good at a certain aspect of something, I hire someone who I know is really
Nice.
good at it. So
It's-
I'm very good at macro shit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You give me hope.
Thank you.
You give me, yeah,
he does
you
a lot,
inspire
too.
me.
You can do it.
I feel like a lot of people who are trying to own verticals too, like
Yeah.
it's very thin at the top. There's not that many people at the top of each vertical, because the people who are all about one thing are still typically pretty lazy at that one thing. So
Yeah.
if you're a very optimized person, you could be good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
You're versatile. The one thing on that, the I think for the longest time it was always like what everyone was always arguing about. What's more important for success?
Yeah.
Drive or talent? And
Yeah.
it's that conversation's been going on for years. And I brought a third one into it as far as I'm concerned. It's drive, talent, and ability to multitask.
Yeah.
Like I've never found a person that was super successful that couldn't multitask a million things.
Yeah.
Or by the way, to your point, had a really good person to help them. But like even then you always need to know like what else you have to
Yeah.
do and how to be versatile, how to be efficient in multiple
Yeah.
categories and diversify. You know?
I used to think I was good at time management, and now I realize I'm just really good at attention management. Like I know what's a priority, and I can
Yes.
stay on that task until it's done. Yeah.
Let me paint a picture for you. You're making serious music now.
Yes.
and one of your songs pops off, or do you have a strategy?
Yes.
Okay.
For the release?
Yeah. Can I ask?
Yeah, we're dropping the album October 4th, and I'm releasing a music video every 3 weeks. So it's a whole visual album.
Cool.
Yeah.
So by the way, for every song?
Yeah.
How many?
13.
13 music videos?
Yeah.
You already shot them?
All of them.
Good stuff.
Whoa.
Damn.
You with a label?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you have a strategy for that. Are you gonna delegate all your time to being a musician?
No. Acting and film are my number one.
So are you worried that people won't take you serious as a musician if you're also doing acting?
100. I mean, I'm not worried about it, but it happens in the same
Yeah.
way that as an actress, I had to overcome the stigma of being a YouTube person.
Exactly, yes.
But like, no matter what, people are going to hate on you or think you can't do everything because they're not able to do everything.
Is there an example of someone who's doing a good job of
Both?
Yeah.
I would say Jennifer Lopez. Like that
God,
woman is
yeah.
fucking annihilating both spheres right now. Jared Leto manages to have his acting career as well as music. Haley Steinfeld. There's like quite
Haley
a few.
Steinfeld's a good example.
Why do I
Yeah.
feel like why do I feel like it's easier to go from music to entertainment or acting than vice versa? I'm trying
Because
to
the
think.
music world is incredibly pretentious.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
why
That's
it's
what I
not
was gonna say,
it's
yeah.
not a talent thing?
The music world is just very like, oh my God. She's like
Just
that
an
girl at the
actor,
party who
we don't-
doesn't want to touch anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate that girl. Because I look back to like I look at J Lo.
Yeah.
I look at Whitney. I look at like
Beyonce.
even Mariah.
Yeah,
like
Madonna.
Madonna. Like they all got their start in music,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then they shifted over to acting.
Well, I think
like,
Madonna was big as an actor before she did music. And J-Lo was an actress. And then she was inspired to do music when she was cast in Selena.
so she was actually an actress first.
Yes.
Okay, just didn't have it big stuff until
She was big when she
Yeah.
went into
I mean,
music.
Selena was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. None of her team wanted her to do it. And she was like, fuck you, I'm doing
Thank God she did it.
Yeah.
Because that was like her break,
it.
right?
Yeah.
What do you like about acting? What do you like about music?
Acting is just so fucking fun. Like, it reminds me of being a kid again, just playing pretend at something and being like, oh, what would I think if I were this person? Or how would I say this? I really love that. Music is, I love writing. Writing's one of my
Really?
favorite things to do.
Nice.
And so performing as well is just a blast.
Performing is amazing.
Yeah.
Are you a conqueror?
I guess so.
Like how much are you doing all these things to just do all the things?
I only do something unless I have the passion to back it up, because then it's like, why would I waste so much time doing this?
I love that answer, and I'm sort of like asking these questions maybe sort of selfishly as like a mirror.
Tell me all.
Well,
What's going on?
I'm just curious because I think that passion for me
Mm-hmm.
comes in success and winning, and sometimes
Mm.
I'll put my head down and go through the example right now. 3 months of grueling 4-hour-a-day boxing camp
Yeah.
to become the champion.
Yeah.
Even though camp might not be the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
Or like writing for 6 to 10 hours a day. Music might not be the most fun thing ever, but I am obsessed with and thrive off the outcome. And so I'll put in that work if I know that result is going to be the thing that makes me passionate.
What if you don't get the result?
I don't know. That's the question I ask myself all the time. I
Yeah.
will say I have a high hit rate.
Ooh.
Because I put literally everything
Yeah.
I have into it, and you know, it might be like an innate thing that I'm just able to do the things that I want to do, and maybe I'm sure as I grow older, I'll become smarter with how I allocate
Yeah.
my energy
Yeah.
and resources.
Well, as long as the outcomes that you're looking at are ones that are exciting to you, normally I'm pretty much against being outcome oriented. But if you already know that, like, if I can see long term that I'm going to win and I know how to get there, then do it. Fuck it.
Outcome oriented, I like that. You know what though? I don't think it's like with boxing, I want to win. That's the outcome, right?
Yeah.
But with music specifically, I don't know if I have an outcome that I'm working for other than just making the best shit I possibly can.
Yeah.
It might be like a challenge to myself almost. Like, can I do this too?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then me just wanting to try to conquer it.
You should. I think everything that you do ultimately makes you a better artist and also hopefully a better human.
Maybe that's why you are such a great artist, because you do so much art. Do you paint?
I do.
Do you do pottery?
I tried. I'm real bad at pottery.
Landscaping,
Real bad.
Yeah, real bad.
design work for like dresses. Where does it stop?
Pottery, I guess.
Pottery.
Pottery. I'm pretty fucking terrible.
Nope, I got a list here. Stand-up, TV and movies, music, comedy, martial arts.
Yeah.
Martial arts?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? You beat
I'm
some
a
ass?
black belt, yeah.
In
Are
what?
you
In what?
really?
In
Yeah.
what?
Kempo?
There we go.
Kempo?
Yeah.
Wait,
And then I used to
describe Kempo.
Is that the thing with the ball and the little wooden thing?
No,
that you
it's
try
like
to catch on the
hand-to-hand
ball?
combat.
That's the kendama.
Ah,
Can you show me a move?
Close.
Whoops.
Like a roundhouse
My
kick or
bad.
something?
Shout out Adam 22.
I don't know. Like can I like attack you and you try to like defend me off?
I mean, sure.
Great.
Oh, let's
Right
see
now?
it. Let's see a live.
Well, not in the best shoes.
No, I go
Oh,
slow.
she's got high heels. Let's
I go
see.
slow. So
What do we got?
Let's say I'm just a big old burly man from Ohio.
I mean,
Hypothetically.
if I were actually trying to disarm you, I would be like balls, eyes, neck.
Okay,
Like-
let's get a live. Yep, let's get a live
Yeah. I wanna-
rendition of that.
Okay.
Full
So
speed,
if you were
100% all out.
For the audio only, she's taking a punch at Logan's
Throat
throat,
to throat.
and just a knee to the ball,
Straight to the
and then an
nads.
eye gouge.
Wow.
Incredible. And he was, by the way, he was completely
That's
defenseless.
not Kempo.
Oh, that wasn't Kempo?
No, that my dad made me do adult martial arts classes when I was a child. He would raise me and be like, someday some man is going to probably attack you.
That's what he told you.
yeah, and then
Okay.
that he would be a big burly man, and so I would have to like wrestle and fight like regular adult men as a child.
I learned everything I know about fighting from Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
And
nice.
so like I
over
still
here.
I got that one down, but I'm still trying to figure out the Hadouken, the Ryu thing.
Yeah.
I can't get it. No, it's
down
not.
your
No, it's
chest.
Ryu.
Do you think it's
Ryu.
better? Do you think it's
Ryu is a
dick in half.
Do you think it's better for dads to,
Raiden.
to do what your dad did, or do you think it's better for them to praise like the princess mentality?
Oh
'Cause-
no, I'm so glad my dad taught me so much about survival. He's like, if you think you're being followed, make 3 right turns. This is the best way to disarm someone. Never run upstairs if someone is chasing you. Like he very much was like, when you go into a restaurant, sit facing the door and or windows because you never
Quick
know.
egress.
Yeah. And in case like someone like, you know, bombs the place or like drives right through it. He was a very paranoid military man who was like very concerned about my safety. But I've been in situations in which I've followed his advice. So I'm like, I'm very glad I have the education of
It's always,
self-defense.
it's always good to have that escape plan. You
You're-
know,
Yeah.
you got to know your emergency procedures.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're hyper aware of your surroundings.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that contribute to your self-awareness as well? Because you're very self-aware.
Probably, yeah. But I also just really love therapy
Do you ever make mistakes?
all the time.
Like what?
All the time. I had to learn the hard way because I make videos about my life to probably talk to my friends when there's a video about them coming out, even if it's anonymous. I've lost friends that way. I think the Carrie Fisher thing, I learned my lesson there.
Yeah, don't ever report the news, guys.
Yeah.
Don't ever. If
Don't
you
try to be a
see
journalist.
something,
Yeah.
don't say something ever.
You got to go to
Don't
journalism
do it. You
school
will
to do
get
that.
fucked in the ass for it. Trust me. Maybe not.
You strike me. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself. You strike me as a pretty mistake-free person.
No, I'm still a human
Like
being
you have
like
a
the
super
rest of
strong
us.
moral compass.
I do.
And you've been through a lot, and you're
I do.
cultured, and I wish I could be more
He's
like
observing.
You can.
you. I will. I swear
Yeah.
to God, I will.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
Logan
young.
fell in love
You've
with
learned
the show.
a lot already.
I'm only 24.
Yeah, you're young. You've got 6 years.
I was gonna ask a question. I mean that, as I do on this show.
Yeah. This is a good format to ask questions.
Seems like it.
Oh, I saw something recently. Did you come out or speak on your sexuality or something?
I did. I'm bisexual. What's up, ladies?
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, so this was it went semi-viral. You made a video on it, yeah?
Yeah, I interviewed my parents about it.
This dating women made me understand men.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Thank
And
you.
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
A girl made you or expected you to pay or something?
She asked me out and then she made me pay. Which I was like, okay, like I don't mind going. I don't even mind paying. But then she also didn't say thank you. And then I told, I told my
What?
friends about this, and my guy friends were like, yeah, no, she's using you for free meals.
100%.
And I was like,
100%.
what? I was like, women do that? And he was like, yeah, bro, all the time. And I was like,
wow.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You're on the receiving
That's
end
what
of
I'm
this.
saying. How interesting.
yeah.
Damn.
She chose a really expensive restaurant.
Which one?
It was like Katsuya or something.
That's what they'll do.
yeah.
Wow.
Got to watch out. See, you know when you find a real one when they like refuse to let you pay,
Oh, really?
right?
Oh, your girl refuses to.
Yeah, she's not a fan of that.
Okay, so
Well, she'll let me pay. I'll still pay. It's
Yeah.
not like we fight over it.
What's
but
your-
there's times where it's like, boom, the card slapped down
Yeah.
and we're splitting this. Okay,
Wow.
and you know that's a good one.
what's your preference?
What?
Like, if you go on a date, is it different if you go on a date with a man versus a woman?
I'll always go expecting to go Dutch, but I always appreciate it if someone's like, "No, I've got this. Like, I've got
And
you."
you let them do it?
Yeah, well, because I'm so alpha in my career that in my romantic life, I don't want to be. Like, I want someone.
I know
who's
that
like,
feeling.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you take care of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard my friend say when I was like 18 that he had made a bunch of money. He's like, yo, if I'm on a date with a woman, like she ain't paying ever. And I was like, that's cool. So I adopted that mindset.
Right.
But you'll have the occasional woman who will fight you tooth and nail to split that meal.
Yeah.
And then she'll do the thing where she like will take your card and slip hers in. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think that's why I brought up the
Yeah.
princess mentality, because
Yeah.
I see this all the time with young girls who are raised to idolize these Disney princesses, and this mentality in society creates the narrative that women are inferior to men and you rely on a man to take care of you. You know, I think that is perpetuated. So
All the time. It's a big brainwash. But
what do we do about it?
I don't know, man. Because I think it's interesting. I read all the dating advice for men on the internet because I was like, what are they telling the men to do? And it's literally the opposite of what they tell women to do. Which I was like, like they were like, if he doesn't pay for the fucking date, like he's a fucking loser. Fuck him. Like he should offer to pick you up. Da, da, da. And like all the ones for the men was like, you know, make sure that she is actually ready to go Dutch with you, man, and like do it and see how she's ready to go. Like that's her level of seriousness.
Yeah.
Like no wonder no one's falling in love.
Have you ever heard of Call Her Daddy before?
No.
It's a podcast that kind of, I guess, like empowers women in the bedroom. So it's like, just like, you know, if he's not doing,
supercharges it.
yeah, it's like if he's not doing this for you, yeah,
If he's not eating your ass, you're not married.
literally,
Yeah.
then send
Exactly.
his ass home in an Uber. So it's like it's very similar to what you say, but just in a very sexualized tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably like one of the second or third top podcasts under us and Rogan. And so yeah, they're worth a listen.
All right. Call her daddy.
Yeah.
Call her daddy.
Done.
Do you I don't know if I'm like allowed to ask this question. 'Cause
Yeah, you can ask.
I
I already know.
What?
If I like men or women more?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more male skewing.
Yeah.
And the reason I was able to claim my bisexuality is because some bisexual friends of mine were like, it's not a pie. You're not like straight down the middle. Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter. Because I had a friend who was bisexual. She's like, I like 90% women and the odd man here and there, but I'm still bisexual. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I was
Still
like,
counts.
oh, yeah, it still counts. And
Makes
so,
sense.
yeah.
The majority of girls that I talk to that are bisexual are female skewing. The majority that I've asked the question to, like Logan just did, skew more towards female. You're actually
Interesting.
one of the first ones that I met that was more male.
I like normally will emotionally fall for a girl before I'm like sexually attracted to her.
Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Because they're more emotionally sound into, you know, what goes into I mean, men aren't as good at making you feel emotionally appreciated, are they?
No, I don't want to generalize, but no.
Yeah, that's definitely the female.
Yeah, it's a female
perspective.
touch, dude.
Yeah.
Female touch.
You're really brave.
Well, thank you.
How come?
I don't know. Have you guys done the Cliff Finder strength test? I love
No,
tests.
what is it?
It's really fun. It's a $49 test. Don't worry about it. You do the online quiz, and it gives you what your top 5 and your top 40 strengths are. And my number 1 is bravery.
Yeah.
Which I really liked and I identified with. But I think it's because I love animals so much, and I also feel very empowered to speak up for disenfranchised voices or voices that may not be heard because of my sister. Yeah.
How long does that test take?
You won't be able to complete it on the podcast. I would suggest.
I want to go to audio only. We've talked a lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this conversation, so I want to thank you for coming on this podcast.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. Where can they find you on the social media?
I am Anna Akana everywhere.
Makes sense.
There we go.
Nice cross train consistency.
Lot of A's. 50%
So
of your name is A's.
Yep.
Wow.
And my first name and last name is when you read it backwards, it's a palindrome.
Wait,
It's Anna K.
Shut the
Akana.
fuck up, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I love palindromes.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite one is?
What?
And
Race
the
car?
longest.
And the longest is a palindrome?
Tear-a-tat.
Yeah, he was just using that as a
Tear-a-tat.
preface.
Oh, to tear-a-tat.
To tear-a-tat.
What does that even mean?
A
To
knock on the
tear-a-tat.
door.
To tear-a-tat.
I like race car.
Kayak.
Taco cat.
Taco cat. Yeah.
Taco cat.
Guys, we're going to do audio only right now on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the world.
Wow.
See you on Spotify and iTunes right now. Hit that subscribe button. Boots.
I'm part Wiccan, so I do spells.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
Are
love
you
spell-
serious?
yeah.
Serious?
I
Are you
have an
fucking
altar
around?
in
Are
my
you in a
room.
coven?
Really?
Yeah, I'm in a coven.
You're
Do some
lying.
magic?
No.
You're actually
I do
in a
love
coven.
magic, yeah.
Wow.
Yo, this is crazy. You're part Wiccan and you're in a coven?
Yeah. It's a big scene in LA.